What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Monday. Welcome into a new episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt. And we're back after a lousy Sunday. This is why betting props can be difficult. And it's why I only bet to win a half a unit. And I told you I was about to go to full units. Well, I'm glad that I didn't. I'm going to stick with my current strategy of bankroll management because the DeMar DeRozan prop, our prop of the day, should have hit. I mean, we did everything right with that handicap. Even with overtime, we had an outside shot, but Zach LaVine's shot that missed at the buzzer killed it. He hits that fadeaway, the Kings win, and we're way under for DeMar DeRozan. Instead, DeMar DeRozan gets going in overtime. I knew we were dead the second we went in there. And then, look, sometimes coaches just decide not to play guys. And Peyton Watson sat the entire second half. Didn't play. Played 6 minutes in the first half and then didn't play. Sometimes coaches just do odd things when it comes to rotations. The Bradley Beal prop goes over. I should have gone with Michigan State and Drake. I swapped out Nebraska at the last second because I thought Michigan might have something for Michigan State. Not even close. Nebraska's a downright embarrassment, and they have no business, and I mean no business, in the NCAA tournament. They didn't belong anyway, even in the conversation. I don't know what the hell the bracketologists are looking at. That team stinks. Like, stinks. Iowa stinks, and Iowa was made to look like a decent basketball team against Nebraska on the road because they couldn't do anything. I mean, Nebraska, have you ever heard of defending the rim? Like, how many layups did Iowa get in that game? That was crazy. They had so many uncontested layups. It's like, Hoiberg, are you coaching defense? Are you paying attention? Like, whoa, that was horrible. Great win for Michigan State. Bad on me, bad Sunday, bad week, losing week. On to Monday. It happens. It happens. But we're not changing. I mentioned, like, if we had done well, I was going to change the strategy. We are not changing the strategy. 3 NBA player props for you guys. I will, if we go cold, just FYI, okay? If we go cold, our record right now is 31-12. I believe that's right. We're 31-12 in 2025 betting NBA player props. But if we go cold, like if all of a sudden we just stop hitting, then we will swap out and go to other things, okay? Just FYI. I can move around. There's plenty of things we can bet on. It's the springtime, so we have NASCAR, we have the PGA Tour, we've got the NHL, we've got the NBA full game and totals, and we've got the NCAA tournament, okay? So, like, I don't have to keep betting NBA player props if we go cold. But that was our first 1-2 day. I don't know when the last time we went 1-2. We've gone 1-1. I don't know when the last time. It's easily 3 weeks ago where we went 1-2 on NBA player props, at least by my memory. So I've got 3 plays and 1 hockey bet for you guys coming up here for today. But before we get to the picks, let me tell you about our friends at Bet365. If you guys go there right now to Bet365 Daily Juice offer, you can turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets when you join Bet365. To claim that offer, just go to bettingpros.com/365 and deposit at least $10. If you place a bet of at least $5, you'll earn $150 in bonus bets. Again, that's bettingpros.com/365. 21 plus only. Must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, or Virginia. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-BETS-OFF if you live in Iowa. Terms and conditions will apply. Okay, let's start with the hockey bet, and then we'll get to the 3 NBA player props. The Edmonton Oilers are facing off against the Buffalo Sabres on the road. The Buffalo Sabres haven't won a hockey game since February 25th. They haven't won a hockey game in the month of March yet. They've lost to Florida, Tampa, San Jose, Montreal twice, and Carolina. They've lost 5-2, 4-2, 4-3, 6-2, 6-5, and 4-0. That is 6 losses and a 4-2 mark on the puck line. Now, if you want to bet on Edmonton on the puck line, you can do that if you would like. That is a plus 130 play. but I'd rather bet it in regulation. I'd rather just have it be a 3-2 win, which is the score of the first meeting between these two teams, a 3-2 win. That was a 3-2 win by the Oilers in Edmonton. I'd rather have it, if it falls 3-2, so be it. We just get a win in regulation. Edmonton in 60, it's only minus 115. Goes to overtime, we lose, okay? But as long as the game is decided in regulation and Edmonton wins, they are 17-11-2 on the road. Edmonton's coming off of a big 5-4 win over Dallas. They beat Montreal 3-2 in overtime. They lost to Anaheim 6-2, but they beat Carolina 3-1. So they are now 3-1 over their last 4 games. Buffalo lost 4-0 last night to the Buffalo Sabres. To the Florida Panthers. So they're coming in here on a back-to-back. It was a 5-4 win for Edmonton last night. So both teams are on back-to-backs, rather. But to me, no, they will play on Saturday. They didn't play Sunday. Sorry. They played Saturday. That's the 8th, not the 9th. So both these teams will have a chance to play with 1 day's worth of rest. But goaltending-wise, I don't care if it's Skinnerd or Picard. I don't care if it's Luukkonen or Reimer. It doesn't make a big difference to me in terms of that. Edmonton's the better hockey team. Bet the streak. 6 consecutive losses for Buffalo. Edmonton is playing good hockey at the moment, getting a big win over Dallas in their last game. I think they continue on here. They start this road trip for them. Edmonton plays... this is the first game of the road trip for Edmonton. They will play at Buffalo, at New Jersey, at New York Islanders, at New York Rangers on this 4 game. Okay, all in the New York, New Jersey region. Get off to a good start here. You get a win at home against Dallas. Go on the road here. Skinner played decent in that game. 5-4 win for Edmonton. Let's go in 60. Minus 115. The Edmonton Oilers winning on the road at the Buffalo Sabres. Again, you can bet puck line if you want. And by the way, these are the two of the top 3 teams for goals for over first periods. Edmonton hits it at 63.4% at number 2 in the NHL. Buffalo hits it at 61.2%. But the only problem is 5-5 for Buffalo over the last 10 games. Edmonton's 8-2 to the over. These two teams won 1 after 1 in Edmonton. First period gifts, goal in the first 10 minutes. Buffalo is in the top 5. 70% of the time, over 7-3 over their last 10, 66% of the time there. And Edmonton is 63.4%. They're 6-4 to a gift if you want, but it's both really expensive. Like 160, 170, like it's super expensive to play the first period over, and it's super expensive to play the goal in the first 10 minutes. So that's why I'm just going to play Edmonton to win the game in regulation. But if you want to get involved with some other markets, I don't hate getting involved with those bets either for Edmonton in the first 60, but also gift, goal in the first 10 minutes, and over 1.5 goals in the first period. That's minus 160 for over 1.5 goals. Like that play, but rather just take Edmonton to win the game in regulation. Okay, to our NBA player props. Let's take a look at Carlton Carrington, a.k.a. Bub Carrington. Bub Carrington, points, rebounds, and assists. 5-star play. Plus 35% positive EV. This has not hit every time he has played up against the Toronto Raptors. These are plays that we like to identify, players we like to look at. Head-to-head wise, he has played 2 times this year against Toronto, the 8th of March and the 29th of January. Way under. Had 13 in that game in March, and he had 6 in that game back in January. Last time out for Carrington against Toronto on the road he had 13, like we mentioned. So the 2 previous games before that, he did go over this number. He had 12 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. And then he had 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. But against Toronto, he had 8, 2, and 3 here. His number is 22.5 for Bub Carrington. This is a player that I think, just defensively and looking at the way he has gone, this number, he did go over 22.5 against Utah, but the number was 15.5 against Toronto back on the 8th of March. Now here we're back again, and the number is ballooned all the way up to 22.5. Yeah, I mean that's a little surprising, to be quite honest, about where we are numbers wise on this. I'm not sure I completely agree with where we are, but 22 and a half. I bet that number comes down. Which, by the way, look, I'm talking about numbers overnight. If these numbers jump, I mean you can't get angry at these numbers if they move. It's a fluid market, okay? But I'm gonna bet the under. Under 22 and a half points, rebounds, and assist for Carlton Bub Carrington of the Washington Wizards here today on the road against the Toronto Raptors. Bet number 2, let's talk about the Rockets hosting the Orlando Magic. Jalen Green, points and assists for Jalen Green. You can play around with, Jalen Green's a player that you can jump around with, and you can actually see a couple different angles. The prop bet cheat sheet likes points, rebounds, and assists the best here for him, with under 30 and a half for Jalen Green. I think I wrote that wrong on the slide, right? Points and assists under 26 and a half. Okay, I bet points and assists. Sorry. You can bet, it likes points and rebounds, and it likes points, assists, and rebounds as well. 30 and a half. You can play that as well. I just played points and assists, 26 and a half. The projection there is 22 and a half. Points, rebounds, and assists projection is 26 and a half. So they're basically both a projection of going 4 under. They're both 5-star plays. They're both up against the number 1 defense in Orlando here against these props for Jalen Green. So you can play kind of either one if you'd like. I played points and assists at minus 125. He has gone way under. The last time he went over 26 and a half points and assists was back on the 25th of February against Milwaukee. He's gone under on his points and assists prop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight games. 17, 17, 14, 22, 26, and 25. So he's been going way under. The rebound number is the reason why I get a little worried. He had 7 rebounds against the Pelicans in his last game. He's had 7, 2, 4, and 6, 2, and 7 during the losing streak. So I get a little concerned with points, rebounds, and assists that maybe he grabs a bunch of boards, and that's what could cause him to go over his points, rebounds, and assists. I'd rather just leave it with points and assists, and we're going to go under for points and assists at 26 and a half for Jalen Green. So Carrington, points, rebounds, and assists under 22 and a half. Jalen Green, points and assists under 26 and a half. And you guys know I like to give you one over. And let's take a look at Kevin Durant, who's been playing really well. Kevin Durant's on Twitter fighting with Skip Bayless because Skip Bayless told him he's washed, and he's kind of like, tongue-in-cheek wise. His points prop here for tonight, I think this is going to be a game. I think for the rest of the year, I think Kevin Durant could be a really interesting bet. I'm going to play the over on Kevin Durant points, over 24 and a half points for Kevin Durant at minus 115. And I think he's got the opportunity to do some big things here. His point prop was 25 and a half against Denver. He scored 29. Against the Clippers, it was 23 and a half. He scored 34. Against Minnesota, it was 24 and a half. He scored 26. Against Dallas, he had 21 points. There's not a prop line here on the prop bet analyzer, so I'm not sure what the number was for that, but he scored 21 and 9. He had 21, 9, and 8. He looked completely locked in. And the Suns aren't totally dead. They're not totally dead here. Against Dallas, he scored 21 points in the last game out against Dallas on the road. He scored 35 against Dallas on the 27th of December. He scored 26 against Dallas on the 8th of November. Now, obviously, that's with Luka in different situations, on the court. So, the lineup for Dallas is different. But I think Kevin Durant's going to have a little late season magic here. I'm going to bet the over on Kevin Durant, over 24 and a half points for Kevin Durant here tonight for minus 125. We paid on that. So our 3 NBA player props: Carrington, points, rebounds, and assists under 22 and a half. Jalen Green, points and assists under 26 and a half. Kevin Durant, over 24 and a half points on the night against Dallas, and Edmonton in 60 to win their game against the Buffalo Sabres. Overtime, we're dead. Must win in regulation at minus 115. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt every single morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.